girls, with the girls, with the girls, chillin with the girls.
Oh, wow. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chillin with the Girls. Last week we had Reminiscing, the best of Chillin with the Girls, part one. We're back with part two. Oh, my goodness, it's going to be amazing. So, all right, ladies, over 5 seasons, we've had guests cover just about everything under the sun. So we're going to play a little game called Which Category Do You Think Gave Us the Most Unforgettable Moments? Which category do you think gave us most unforgettable moments?
Hmm. Let me see. Oh, life goals and aspirations. Oh, I'll never forget when one of our guests talked about pursuing a dream that seemed impossible, but they kept going until it became a reality. That was powerful. Man.
Let's see. I have something about personal growth and challenges.
Hmm.
I still remember when a guest opened up about overcoming setbacks. Y'all
Hmm.
remember that?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It reminded all of us that growth doesn't come without a fight. Now, that's real.
Right.
Let me
Wow.
see.
Wow.
Relationships and connections.
Mm.
That episode where the guests shared how building strong relationships shaped their journey. That really stuck with us. It showed the value of people in our lives. And we need people. We
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
need people.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And
we do.
y'all remember that episode about mental health and well-being? Man, it was like some of our most heartfelt conversations came from guests who were brave enough to be vulnerable. Those moments still echo in my mind when they were just going through so much stuff. One of our guests, going through suicidal issues, cutting
Yeah.
themselves, and that really
Mm.
stuck in my mind. And then remember we were having those professional people coming on, those psychologists talking about mental health and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, it was amazing.
Yeah. And
Mm.
wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold up. Here we go. And don't forget about social justice. Remember the social I can't even say it.
Mm.
Social justice.
Yeah,
So guests really challenge us to think deeper about what's happening in our world today
Yeah.
and
yeah.
how we can make a difference. Social justice. We want
Yeah.
our chili peppers to think about that one. I'm sure they can add something in the comments about social justice.
I'm sure they can. And another thing was about technology and environmental concerns.
Yeah.
Remember when we discussed how the choices we make today affect the next generation?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
conversation really was an eye opener.
Mm.
Scary stuff, right?
Yeah, it was good.
So the truth is, every category brought us something valuable. Each guest gave us a gift in their own way, and we could relate to most of them. It's
So true,
relatable.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what makes 5 seasons, y'all. 5 seasons.
Five
Five
I know
seasons.
some of y'all
seasons.
just came on the fifth season. That's why we're reminiscing. It's like it was some really like good shows and guests. Like in
Yeah.
the very beginning, we had so one time, one year, we had like 20 some guests. And these are all professional people. They were like
Hmm.
nurses, they were teachers, principals, life coaches, wellness
Auth-
coaches, like
Yes.
Authors.
authors, like so
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
Yeah, and so we invite y'all to even go back and watch some of those season
Yes.
1 to 4. It was so
Yeah.
engaging. And next year we're going to do it again. We're going to come out with some guests, and if y'all have ideas of different professional people y'all want to see on our show, feel
Mhm.
free to drop it in our comments and stuff, and
Yeah.
we'll see and look for some people, the guests who can answer some of your questions, life
Yeah.
questions and everything. So
Absolutely.
that makes
Yeah.
those seasons of chilling with the girls so unforgettable.
Mm.
Like there
And you know
was,
what,
mhm,
Tish? I was just thinking because me personally,
yeah,
even though I'm on the show and I'm one of the hosts or whatever,
yeah,
I even go back and look at some of our previous shows just to get a recap, or if I need resources of
yeah,
something, or a lot of shows that we have, and it's really informative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so much great
Oh my
information
goodness.
that we
Right.
share.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
And I want to say Amelia is here. Oh, we love Janice and Amelia. Vita
hi.
is on here, y'all. Hey,
It is
Vita.
on
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness. And then we have Carol Johnson. Let me clap the hands. I think it's the first time we saw Carol Johnson.
here.
Welcome, Carol, to Chilling with the Girls.
I want to say something about professionals, Fish. How about we
Mhm.
have the seniors? You have the seniors. They talked about cooking
Oh
and
yeah.
how you make your man happy with food
Yeah.
and home cooked food.
Ah,
It was
how
like,
to make your man happy with food.
yeah, this was like a real senior from down home days, and I could relate
Yeah.
to some of that. Yeah.
They also, now you know how where I'm gonna go with it. They also talked about remedies. Remember the remedies back in the day? The
Yeah.
old
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
wow. And it's like you can't even find those things anymore.
Yeah.
They that happened so far, back then. Remember the what was that tree bark that not sarsaparilla. What was it called?
sassafras.
Sassafras. You
Yes.
can't
But
even
guess,
find
Yeah.
that
but
sassafras.
guess what?
Not.
But guess what?
What's
It's
that?
still here. We can still make it. We can
It's
still.
somewhere, huh?
But you know what? They have some in the herbal store, but it's not as potent as the
Not
ones we got
oh,
off the tree.
yeah.
Up and down the road. And Dad
A
could
lot.
find them in his travels up and down the highway. You just have to recognize them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Through all types of trees.
that is true.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so any look, so we were talking about the guests that talked about the life goals and aspiration.
Mhm.
Um, it was one, I put the thing up here, y'all. There we go. And it was called Save to Serve.
Oh,
With
Mm,
Angela. I forgot
yeah.
what was her last, I can't really see her last name.
Sinkfield Gray.
Yes, Sinkfield Gray, and
Yes.
she was talking about how she was influencing women. It was one lady that really stuck out that went through church hurts and
Yeah.
really badly and stuff, but how God changed her life around. I don't know if I think she got arrested or something. Like she went through a lot of
Yeah,
stuff,
she
A
but
did.
lot.
today she's like an evangelist.
Yeah. And
And we. Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and she has that ministry, Daughters of Zion. you
Yes.
know, and
Mm.
what her ministry is, she set up safe havens for women who have been a part of domestic violence and domestic abuse and stuff.
Yes.
Because she can relate to some of that stuff. So now she is taking care of some of the women, that's been going through some of that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So that was a
she just told me, and recently, because I spoke with her because she was asking
mm,
me would I join the Daughters of Zion. They also have a Facebook page as well,
Mm.
and I get different updates and things. And so she had an event or something where this lady was in like a wheelchair or something like that, and she asked for prayer, and they prayed over her. And by the time she left, she was walking out
wow.
from that event without the
Bless,
wheelchair.
bless the Lord. Wow, that's powerful.
Amelia's asked us if we heard about that Father John stuff. I've never. No, I'm not
Father
Oh,
familiar.
you
John?
said Father John?
Father John.
What is that?
Say something.
Uh,
Say
uh,
something more about that, Amelia, because I'm not familiar with that
I'm
either.
not.
Father
it was a
John.
Father John used to drink. It was like brown in a big bottle.
No, ma'am. We were talking about something inspirational. I don't think she's talking about
Oh,
drinking.
I'm
Denise
not
is
familiar.
here. Hey, Denise.
He's his
Hello,
niece.
hello.
Yeah. So, tell us a little bit more about the Father
Yeah,
John.
yes.
Maybe we can, because that one part is not really familiar.
Yes.
So maybe
And
we
Yes.
then
can look it up
and
and find it, and we can discuss some of that about the Father John.
Yes.
another guest that sticks out to me was Kelly, our friend Kelly
Ooh,
on I Heard, and she even has
yes.
Mhm.
like a conference, for and it's not only women, y'all, but it was families, hurting families and catering to them because a lot of people are broken, and they need help. So God laid it on her heart to start an organization called the I Heard. It was what does it stand for? Can y'all
It
remember?
means I'm hiding under rejection and trauma.
I am. Is it
Mhm.
I am hiding?
I'm
I'm
hiding
hiding
Mhm.
under
under
rejection
rejection and
Mm.
and trauma.
Mhm.
wow.
And it's like we hide so far that we
Yeah,
can't find ourselves to do what God has called us to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
God has put a ministry in all of us, and we've
Mhm.
been through so much. It's
yeah.
almost like it's almost like we have to figure out how we're going to come above it. It's like, yeah, I'm hiding under hurt and I mean, hiding under rejection and trauma.
Mm.
Rejected
And
and trauma can be from so much stuff, not just from one thing. So many things can cause trauma in our lives. I'm sorry, just what were you about to say?
oh, well, Amelia was saying we were talking about remedies, Towanda. You were talking about remedies, and that's why she said that Father John stuff is a liquid medicine
That's what
that's
I
supposed
said.
to cure flu
Mhm.
symptoms and any type of
I
congestion.
Oh,
But
remember that. Yeah,
disgusting.
Wow.
That's what mine was talking about.
I
And
you
it
remember.
said it's
had a
disgusting.
dark brown look, almost looked black.
It
It was,
was a
Oh,
it was,
little sweet to
yeah.
me. I kind of liked
She
it.
mentioned it because of that.
Uh-huh.
oh,
Okay.
okay. It kind of remind me of the blackstrap molasses, like brown,
Oh,
black.
yeah. I
That's
was
I
what I'm
was
thinking
when
thinking
about
of.
that.
when she said black, I thought about that, and I
Yeah.
and I was like, this
Mhm.
segment, life goals and aspirations, because these women, the women that we interviewed that were on our show, um, went through a lot of stuff, and in their
Yeah.
life goals, and they were
Mhm.
inspired to help other people who are going through the
Right.
same thing.
Mhm.
I think the one that had the foster care, she didn't go through
Ooh.
foster care, but she experienced other people who've gone through foster care, and she wanted to
Yeah.
help people in
Yes.
the foster care system.
Mhm.
Right. And
Yes.
and we learned a lot about the foster care system because
Yeah,
remember we were asking her that one time, about children that's taken out of their homes,
yeah,
and they have to go into the foster care system and they have to go with strangers. And we were like, well, what about the grandparents? They should be able to
You
get those
can.
children.
right.
And she was like, in some states they might, but in Maryland it is not legal for the
Why though,
grandparents. And I just
man?
See,
and let me tell you, I did find
Oh,
out why, but she was saying that the grandparents don't have rights. And let me tell you why. Now I was thinking to myself why as well. But let me tell
Mm.
you why. It's because the grandparents sometimes they turn a deaf ear to what's going on. And they be
wow.
like, well, we didn't know that was going, but in the whole time they did know. And so those kids cannot go into
Okay.
that environment either, you know, because
Yeah.
they're almost saving, their parents and stuff, taking those kids in, and they knew the whole time what was going on as well, so they can't even have rights to
And
but
what
the,
was really sad
Mhm.
about foster care, and it
them.
probably still goes on, and people were just getting the children for money and they were neglecting
Oh
them. They were spending their money, they weren't buying them clothes, they weren't eating, well or anything like that. And they were just getting the money. They wanted to exploit them.
yes,
And so I don't know the system now, but I can imagine it's probably really strict right now, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Probably.
people
yeah,
like always abusing stuff that just hurts
yep,
other people. Like when you
Yeah.
abuse something and they set up different rules and structures, you are hurting other people.
Yeah.
Sonia is
yes,
on here, Sonia
yes.
Lorraine. She
Sonia
said,
is
good
on.
evening. Hey.
Hey, Sonia, has she been on here before? Has she been a guest before?
I
Because we
don't think
didn't.
so. I was getting ready to play the music for her.
Let's
Okay.
give her a clap.
Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
and but the foster care, they were
Mhm.
saying like the grandmothers are really good. Y'all love your grandchildren. I know that. Love them to pieces. But they need something written down. It
Mm,
has
And
to be
writing.
in writing. And then
Hmm.
sometimes you have
That's
somebody
right.
has not been in their life, like a father, or absent mother, and they want to come in because they're the first line, but they want them for money,
Yep.
Hmm.
and they
That's
still
right.
want to pay. So they need to have
So
things
sad.
in writing for
Yeah.
everybody's in their right mind. They can
yes.
think
Yeah.
like now. Don't put it off tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
'Cause
But it's
I
like
know.
these children are going through enough stuff.
They
You know
are
Yeah.
what
going
I
through
mean? Then
so
to
much.
get in foster care, they already feel like, their parents don't want them, or in some cases, the mom or dad is in jail, or they abuse them and all that kind of stuff. And that's why they're taken, out of the homes. But
That
it
Mm.
is
leads to trauma
so
as well. I'm thinking
sad.
about that. I heard that leads to trauma.
Yes.
And I wanted to say also that it was this young lady who I knew at the high school where I worked, and her own family member, was able to foster her, have a foster
Hmm.
care program for her,
Okay.
and they were themselves were spending the money on clubs and spending the like
Wow.
that's your own
Wow.
flesh and blood, and you're not even taking care of your own flesh and
Yeah.
blood. You
Mm.
are using that money to go party I was like, are you kidding me? It
Yeah.
is so sad. But one thing I
And
wanted to say too is that if people like to adopt, if they want to adopt children,
Hmm.
the foster system is the best, is the fastest way. I'm not gonna say the best. It's the fastest
Oh,
way to
wow.
get the child, because if you get somebody in a foster system, you can get them right away, even as babies. You can get them right away, and then 2 years after you have them, you can adopt them.
Tawanda, do you see this person right here? I think it's
Yes,
Yes.
it was.
see
Praise the
that?
Lord.
Hit that clap
Praise
button.
I gotta hit the clap button.
Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah,
But
But
and so
yes, so
those
that's the
those shows
fastest
were,
way to get them.
but
yeah.
I know one instance though. They had him in foster care, and they adopted him, and the mother and father just gave him up because they loved him, but they didn't have the money to take care of him. They
Wow.
Oh
could not
wow,
afford to
wow,
take care of their children. They didn't have a
wow.
place, and so they gave him up to a nice Christian home. And them
Yeah,
kids, they're in
wow,
church and they're happy. Yeah.
wow.
I think
Well,
that's another thing she was talking about, adopting. I mean, foster
foster care.
system, and she was like, Christians need to really, if you're out
Yes, she
there,
did.
really foster, these children and give them a home. Because guess what? You're building the kingdom, because if you foster these children,
Mhm.
they're in school. You take them to Sunday school. You take them to church. You know what I mean. And you can speak into
Yes,
their lives and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people are afraid, to get children. They don't know if they're going to harm them or what. Amelia said she fostered 10 different children.
Ooh.
wow,
Wow. At different
Wow.
wow.
intervals of her life, but she didn't get
Was
money
it?
for it. She did it because children are her heart.
Oh,
I,
Oh,
I
that's
got
real
to.
love.
wow.
That's love.
It only
Amelia.
take you,
Real
but
love.
come
That's
on
love.
now.
Yes,
We
blessings
gotta
and blessings and
applaud that.
blessings
Oh
upon
my God,
blessings.
that is
Yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
Now,
That
yes,
is
it
Awesome.
is.
now
Absolutely.
Good
I know.
evening, Tish. Hey, hello. My namesake. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Mom.
I know a lady, a minister, that she had a found child left on her doorstep. And I think
Wow,
she was targeted because they probably knew she was going to be and she was the best. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
wow,
And she,
wow.
she, she believed in divine healing, but she kept that child in with the doctor's appointments, with everything, and she just raised her, and she raised her in church, and I
That's
mean she
excellent.
loved that child,
That's
and she loved
excellent.
everything,
It was
everything.
Yeah.
the mother at Pastor Bryce Church. She's gone now. She adopted this girl, and she was a crackhead. And the girl comes to church today. Like, she's grown now. Like, but she was a crackhead baby.
She was a crack
Crack
baby.
baby, a crack. I said crackhead. I'm sorry. She was a crack baby. And just to do that, the baby's going to have
Exactly.
like medical challenges, and
Yeah.
you have to go in and out of the hospital.
Hmm.
Just having a heart, to me, that's the heart of God and the heart
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
Jesus too, open up your heart and your home to help someone, who can just end up homeless or abused, and you bring them in your house and it's a house of safety.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can
You
pour
can
into
pour.
those children so
Absolutely.
much.
Mhm.
And the stuff that they've gone through, you can bring healing to
Yeah.
them. If you are godly, you can bring them up in a godly manner. You can give them
Yes.
a second chance at life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That yeah, and that's what I know. Some people who are foster parenting, they were like, that's like really they need to get foster parents out there, especially if you
I,
are a godly woman or a godly man.
Yeah. And
You
then we
know,
had another set of guests, and we talked about personal growth and challenges. And it seemed like the shows along the same line, with the
yeah,
trauma
a
and
lot
all
of
that
them.
kind of stuff, because foster kids have trauma. But this that's our one of our guests was talking about overcoming trauma and abuse, and how she helped also. I forgot the it was like abuse, like a shelter, like abuse women shelter or
Oh,
something like
okay, yeah,
that. Yeah. She went to Bishop Leslie's church, and so she was talking about how you have to hide women. I worked at, remember, Mel, we went to that shelter in DC to help paint and everything,
hmm
and it
Mhm.
was hidden, like it was like a
Yeah.
disclosed
Mhm.
location, because no
Mhm.
one can know. They didn't give us the directions until the day of.
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So a lot of women are
Mhm.
and children are running from abusive
Mhm.
situations and stuff.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yes,
I have visited one locally, Kurt Close, and went inside. That's a real
yes,
good. And you say people haven't been through it, so they don't have heart. Yes, you do. You don't have to have to
Right.
explain something. You
Yeah.
have the heart of Christ, and you want to
absolutely,
do
yes,
it. So,
Yeah.
and then your dad used to pick them up from the shelter and bring them to church on Sunday and
wow,
take them
wow,
there to go in a certain time and come out. It was some women, but it
Mm.
is hidden away, But it is a lot out there that we don't even know about it, but we have
Right.
yeah.
a heart for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And that, I mean, that brings me to when I was volunteering, when I lived in Indiana, and I actually volunteered. I actually walked from my house down to this place
mhm.
every day. I think it was every day to volunteer,
Wow.
and to deal with those women, I mean, they came in, they would be able to give them clothes, they were able to give them like computer classes and stuff, you know, but they, like you said, they were hidden, and I
Yeah.
had to look at the door to see if anybody was ringing the bell, if I could not let any males
Right.
in at all. Unless
Wow.
they was like service males, or I'll have to go get somebody say, are we having a service today?
Hmm. Hmm.
But you couldn't let any males in. When you answer the phone, you couldn't let them know that anybody was there. You couldn't, but it was just a safe haven, for those women and the children, for the
Yeah.
women and the children. Yeah.
so I wanted to mention somebody, another guest that we had on our show. We don't have the background of her, but it was Leslie Tucker. Do you remember
Oh
her
yeah.
Mhm.
story? And
Women
it
surviving.
was in season one, right?
Yeah.
Talking about women surviving,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
she was challenged with she lost her parents, and she was a single
Yeah.
parent, and she
Wow.
had
Yeah.
to deal with a whole lot of different challenges in her life, um and other family members, they weren't even there to support
Right.
her or
Yeah.
whatever. And so she went through a lot, even with her daughter,
Hmm.
who was cutting herself,
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
so she had to deal with that, a teenager. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
we had her on our show too.
Right.
um
Yes.
and when you just hear about the growth and the
Yes.
challenges,
Yes.
the challenges and the growth from the challenges, you
Right.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it was
Yes.
really good. And so she said that something that stuck out with me, that
Hmm.
she said, because somebody asked, was she praying and asking God to help her, whatever, and
Right.
she said,
Mhm.
I just thank God. Every time I go through something, I just say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
yeah.
she said she thanked him because he already knew everything. He already knows
Wow,
everything.
yeah.
So he already knew, when she was going to come out. So she just thanked him for it. She said she didn't know how, but she just
Right.
thanked him for bringing her out. So I thought that was
Yes.
just really awesome, and it just left an
Yeah.
Yes.
impact,
Right.
her
You
testimony.
know,
I
and I
wanted
mean,
to say real quick, Mom. I wanted to put this up here from Amelia. She said one of the children she fostered when she lived with her parents. She went home on a weekday to visit her actual mom, and she was supposed to pick her up on that Saturday, but for some reason she didn't go. She didn't get her. She said when she was coming out of school, she found out that the girl was burned in a fire, and that
Oh,
really broke her heart because she was supposed to pick her up that weekend, but she didn't.
oh,
oh,
wow, 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 wow.
no.
And I just want to say how awesome God is. Like
Yeah,
even when we miss something, He'll
yeah,
come and He'll heal your heart. You know what I mean? Because
exactly.
it's like something things that happen to us, we can't change them. We can't, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Right,
so
yeah,
we just need people to walk us through stuff and just know, that God can heal the broken. He can heal the broken hearts, just like this on this episode, overcoming trauma and abuse, that God is a healer and He can
right,
heal you.
Yeah, what I wanted to
exactly.
say about the young lady that Melanie was talking about, what she was, even though she was going through stuff and the way she lived, it wasn't up to par. She took other hurting people in.
Mm,
She took
mhm.
other
Yeah,
young girls,
Yes.
one girl whose mother passed away, took her in, and she was taking other people in, even though she didn't have sufficient.
And
sufficient
that's why that was her reason. That's why that was her why. She did it
mhm.
because she was homeless. And
Yeah,
she didn't, so she had a father, but he never acknowledged her.
mm,
One story
yeah,
she told me that he came to the house and she didn't know it was her father, and he looked at her and just walked out, and her grandmother was like, he doesn't mean anything, don't even worry about him, because he didn't even care. And
mm,
so she was literally rejected, and the one who really loved her was her grandmother. Then her grandmother passed and she didn't have anywhere to go. And today she's in church, serving God, you know what I
mhm.
mean? So it's
Yeah,
like
Yes, that's what I
it's
was
it's
thinking.
good for us to help people because you don't know their outcome, the end result.
yeah,
And so when
Right,
you
yeah,
really care about somebody, the end result is going to be victory for them.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Yeah, because I'm that young lady, like she went to school and everything, right?
smart,
She went to
smart lady.
college, and she is just
but wait,
overcoming,
wait, we talking about the mother or we talking about the
the
daughter?
daughter,
I was
the
talking about the
daughter.
mother earlier. The
Oh, yeah,
daughter,
yeah. So I'm sorry. So the daughter, she was on our show as well,
yeah.
and she was
mhm,
talking about all the stuff that she had to go, that she went through.
Mhm.
I'm
As a
sorry.
teenager, overcoming the life of a
Yes,
teenager.
Mhm.
overcoming.
yes,
Yes,
And then she
absolutely.
was
that's
trying
the
to
name of the
get
show.
hit by a truck or a car. She ran it in traffic, and she
Oh
hurt herself.
man.
And then they told her that she was bipolar and she had to be on medication. She got
Mm-mm.
pregnant. I'm gonna just tell you how awesome God is. She got pregnant, but this girl today is in college.
Yes,
She
absolutely.
Yes,
graduated from high school, I think last year or year before last. She graduated from high school and was a sophomore in college.
Mhm. You don't give
mm,
up on people. You don't
Forensic
give up
Don't
on
give up.
people.
forensic science. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
And
powerful.
I know one lady who didn't have a place to go with her kids, and I didn't realize the little girl was so grateful. You remember how
Mm.
grateful she was? So, giving her testimony like in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And they in church, out on the
That's the
street.
that's the key to it. And we had Terry Williams on here,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she was talking about fierce women, matters of the heart, and she has that. Is she still over the women's organization?
Oh,
Yeah,
she's international now. She's over
Yeah,
international,
yeah.
internationally.
and she has some really good guests that comes on her
Yeah.
her platform and stuff
Yeah.
Hmm.
for the council. We have women conferences. Oh
Uh-huh.
my goodness! Didn't we enjoy that conference that was in BWI Airport. They had the
Yeah.
play. Towanda was in the play, and
Yeah.
they had the different guests there walking with. Once again, women, man, it seemed like we go through so much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, but God is right there to bring us
He's
out.
right there.
You
He's
know,
right there.
Yeah.
He's right there to connect us with the
Yep.
right people at the right time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's going to help us get through what we're going through. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
then when we get through it, we're right there to help somebody else. Because
Yeah.
everything we go through, it is not for us. You
Huh?
And
know, we go
yeah.
through it, but it's for
Mhm.
somebody else.
And guess what else? We don't look like what we've been through.
No, we
That's
Not at
right.
don't.
all.
If you
Not
look
Absolutely.
at
at
yourself,
all.
if you look at
No,
our
we
chili peppers, if
don't.
you look at stuff in the mirror, you be like, I do not look
Yeah.
like what I've been through.
That's so,
And you
yes.
know,
Because of the grace of God.
a release. One of our guests, Tish, you know her. Uh, she put it in a book. That's the way you release. You can do a
Yeah.
bestseller. The
That is
stuff
so
we've gone through, there's a
true.
bestseller in all of our women and men.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Just write it down, and that's where to release too. Just
That's
write
so
it
true.
and
It's
share it with
healing.
people. Yeah.
Yes.
And you said release and also healing. You
Yes.
know, when you write stuff down, you can be healed from it,
Yep.
you know?
And somebody reads it,
That's,
they get healed from it. So it just goes on. It's snowball,
yes.
snowball effect. Yeah.
Isn't that something? Wow. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I never even thought about that. But yeah.
So all these hosts, through these challenges, whatever, it reminded us that we're not alone in our challenges.
Right.
Like you were
Wow, that's
saying,
good.
Tawanda,
Right.
God is there
Whew,
with us.
yes.
Yep.
And not only God, but there's somebody else. There are other people. There are programs, that will be there to help you in your challenges. So reach out.
Yes.
Reach
Yeah.
reach out to people to get your help and
And
support.
we need to
Right.
leave our houses too and go to where the people are. Those they looking
Yeah.
at me. I'm not up to par. No,
Yeah.
no, no. Don't look at that. You are up to par. You know
And I
you.
think I heard Tish one time say, don't suffer in silence. Don't be a
Oh
silent
Right.
sufferer.
yeah,
You know, and reach out to somebody, get help. Don't be ashamed to reach out and get help, you know, because everybody is going through something. My
yeah,
Yeah.
something is not your something, and
Yeah.
your something is not my something, but everybody's going through
I
something.
Yeah.
I went. I was at the doctor's office, right? So I went in the bathroom, and they had these little cards, like the size of a business card, and it was talking about domestic abuse and everything. And I read. That's when I was in this marriage, right? And I read all of the items, and I was literally going through all the items and didn't even know it was domestic abuse because it was in my home, and
Wow.
it wasn't physical. And
mhm,
so some people, they say if it's not physical, and Carol Johnson, amen. If it's not physical, then it's not abuse, but it can be a
oh
mental
yeah,
abuse,
master. Mhm.
Absolutely.
psychological abuse.
Yes.
People, the man putting you down and all that kind of stuff, and
Verbal abuse.
verbal
Right.
abuse. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness. And
Absolutely.
we need to recognize that, and it is happening in the church, and we thinking it's not.
Yes.
There are women suffering silently, in
Yeah.
the church. And that's why
Yes.
we need to discern what is going on. And that's why the church needs to be not only just a building where you come in and shout, but it should be a building of
Literal.
ministry where we can
Yes.
help the
You know,
community and help people.
and
Yes.
dare I say, men and women
A-
and men. Men are
Absolutely.
going through as well. You
Yeah.
know, just like women are abused, men are abused as
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah.
they definitely don't want to say anything because they think that is so embarrassing. But
Mhm.
hey, if you need some help, scream out. You know,
Yeah.
people can't read your minds all the time. Now, sometimes God will allow somebody to be able to read your mind, but not all the time.
Discern. Hmm.
Get some help. Get
Yeah.
some help from what you're going through.
And you
Don't
know
be.
what? Uh,
Mhm.
someone told me the other year when we were going through some things uh, that now the men can sue the women for blaming children on them. And they've been
What?
paying money for years and years on children that's not theirs. And say
And they can sue?
they can be sued. They can sue those women
Wow.
because that's evil. You know that's evil.
That
It's
is so
so
evil.
evil.
And some people do
So
that
evil.
because you're a good person, you got a good
Yes.
job, and you got a good car, and
Mhm.
who they're with is like a side person that's not that good, and they
Right.
put you, and they don't, and you guess what? If you with them for a length of time, you can go back. So
Yeah.
you didn't check that test a
Yeah.
certain time. Well, you've
Right.
been supporting them all along, but you know, but they say that it's a
I
suit
did
team.
not know they could sue
I
them.
heard it.
Wow.
Look it up.
And
Look it up.
and there's
There's
an
a lot of
impact.
there's a
Go
lot
ahead.
of resources here on our shows. So
Yeah.
we
Yes.
encourage you to, go back and
Yep.
check out those previous shows and,
Yep.
see what kind of resources and stuff you need. Just put in the search engine, under chillin', and then, you may find the answer that you've been looking for.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes, so
Right.
we have
Yes.
guests that have answered, like, I'm going to segment 3, answered like big questions about purpose. We're
Mm.
talking about
Mhm.
meaning of success and what that looks like. We had
Yeah.
a lot
You had
we had a
lawyers.
lot of guests
You had
talking about
lawyers
being
on the show. Yeah.
successful,
And
Yes.
and like
Absolutely.
mommy was and Twan was talking about the books. A lot of authors
Mhm.
Right.
on our shows, and we're talking
yeah.
about, how what came about in their life and how they started to write the
Yeah.
book. I know one of our guests, I can't remember her name. She said it took her about 10 years to,
Ooh.
to write the book, and
Yeah.
that was because she doubted herself.
Right.
She
Wow.
didn't think she could do it,
Yeah.
That was
and but she
Natalie
had
Payne.
she had all the knowledge, she had all the information or
Yeah.
whatever, but she doubted herself. And then when she did it, you know what? People loved her book. People loved her story and needed her story.
And
So
Wow.
remember
Yeah.
she said that she built it up through her journals. Remember she was journaling
yes,
through her
Oh,
life,
okay.
and now today she
Wow.
has a PhD,
Mhm. Mhm.
See?
and she has like a an organization, a what do you call it? I forgot the name of the organization, but she went to Ghana
Hmm.
this summer and was
okay.
helping educate the children in Africa. Like
Okay,
Wow.
she went
wow.
through with Towanda.
Wow.
They have an organization, nonprofit
Oh, powerful.
organization
Mhm.
now,
Mhm.
and now they're teaching children in different countries and stuff.
Mhm.
Powerful.
I was just one of our guests was Eric Jefferson. He was talking about education has
Oh
no
yes.
limits. The importance
Mhm.
of this is really
Yes.
important because what's going on today, and with our education department,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And like
Yes.
mom said one time, it's okay if y'all change everything and kick the people out. This church has got to the church should open up schools. Then you know what I mean. If they don't
Mhm.
have
Right.
anywhere to go,
Yes.
be that answer. Like Mama Monroe was like, we are the answer to somebody's question. That's
Mhm.
how
Yeah.
God put it
Yep.
This is
on
like a
her.
referral service, really.
It is.
It is really. I mean, because
Yes. Wow.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
we love
And
what we do. We love to
yeah.
listen
Right.
to
And
people.
Absolutely.
Great.
education has no limit. You never stop learning. You
Never
And,
stop.
and,
never
and
stop
inexhaustible.
learning.
Inexhaustible.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
learn every
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
day. And
Love
then
it.
you can educate yourself, Never
And
stop
Tawanda
learning.
saying that, I was thinking about sister to sister. You can really talk
Ooh.
about sister to sister, and this is an
Yes.
organization that happened in a high school.
Yes,
And
yes, and
Mhm.
this
I
lady,
was a part
go
of
ahead.
this
Yeah,
organization. Yeah, I was a part of this organization, and so these were like young ladies, and they were at the high school. Now, I wasn't a part of the foundation, the beginning of it,
right.
but
Yeah,
I worked with this lady who was over it, and she was saying how these young ladies were just fighting in the school, just fighting, fighting all the time, getting
yeah,
in trouble and fighting. And
yeah.
so she said, "Why don't you?" Why don't y'all meet me after school in this one classroom or whatever? And she didn't know. She thought it was gonna be like, a couple of girls, meeting. And so when she got there, it was like 30 some girls in
Wow.
that room.
That's
And she
good.
didn't know what to do.
Because
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
remember they wanted to fight each other the first time. It was like girls that were against each other, and she
Right.
didn't
Oh
know
yeah.
what was going on. They were coming in this room to tussle,
And
But
so
guess what? To Dewan, wait a
and
minute.
she did not give up on them, and they
she
came back and stuff.
she
And
said,
go
I
ahead.
want to
she said,
say with this
okay, Lord.
lady, Tawanda, she was not even one of the school teachers, I think.
She was
She was,
not. She was not.
and the professional people was against her
They
because
were
Right.
those
totally
children
against
loved
her.
her.
Yeah.
She had a
Yes, they
heart
did
for 'em.
love her.
I just want to put that in.
But
She was not
when
professional.
That's right. When she got them in the classroom, then she said, "Okay, Lord, you got them here. Now, what do I do with them?" She did not know what to do. She did not know
Wow.
what to do. She was just,
Yeah.
dependent on God for everything.
Yes.
And books came out of this group, man. I mean, professional women, attorneys,
Yeah.
women that they are working on degrees. What else? They doing like trading, like what is it? Like stocks and stuff. They're teaching people how to, do stocks. I mean, it is tremendous.
Uh-huh.
These young ladies, they stop fighting against each
Yeah.
other, And then one thing that we always said when we got after school, we closed that door. We said, what happens in this classroom stays in this
That's good.
classroom. And the young ladies, they would tell their stories. Sometimes there was not a dry eye in the room.
Wow.
Everybody was crying. I was crying, Miss Lisa, everybody was just crying. But then they were hugging on each other and loving on each other,
Yeah. So
and
good.
so much stuff happened. We ministered. We went to nursing homes and ministered in the
Mm.
nursing homes. I mean, we
Wow.
did so much stuff,
Yeah.
And Lisa now she's professional. She's gone to college since. The lady Lisa,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
she's gone to college since.
See
She's got
that?
degrees.
Wow.
See
I mean,
that?
God is just so awesome. And people try to tear her down
Yes, they
every
did. Those
chance they got.
professionals were jealous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every
And
chance
Towanda, she
they
used
got.
her own money. Remember, they wouldn't give her
She
any
used her
funding. They
own,
would not give her funding
and
for
she
that.
had it.
I
She
think the
had the
funding was
funding.
for her and they used it for
They
something else,
used it
I
for
Yes,
think.
something
that's
else. They
exactly
gave it a
what happened.
They
yeah,
That's
sabotaged it.
exactly what happened.
Look
And
at
yeah,
then
God.
when she went to get the funding, sometimes they would say, "Well, do you have a receipt?" And then whatever. And did you? This is her money. This is
yeah,
earmarked for this
yeah.
group. Are y'all kidding me?
Right.
Mm.
And yeah, they gave her a hard time. But look what God did in her life
Look at
and in
God.
those girls' lives. She's done skits, you guys. She taught the girls how to. They did fashion shows. She taught them you don't have to show your body to be pretty. I mean, it was a great
I
ministry
love
It
in
it.
was
that high
that was
school,
So good.
transformation because we had a
big
couple of
time.
them on a couple. If y'all
They
go to
did. They
Sister to
came
Sister
back as
on that
lawyers.
season, we had a couple of them on the show, on the actual show, giving their testimony. And one girl is an attorney
Uh-huh.
doing
Okay.
very well in Texas.
Uh-huh.
Came from
Yes.
what was it? Indiana,
Right.
Indianapolis, and now
From
she's in
South
Texas
Bend,
and
from
stuff.
South
And
Bend,
she's
Indiana.
like a yeah, South Bend, South Bend, Indiana. And now she's a
Yep.
successful attorney in
Absolutely.
Texas.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely. And they
Oh
still stay in touch with her.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Helping her out.
and one show we had about relationships, families, and stuff. And
Yeah.
y'all wanted to see Bishop Nelson. That was so inspirational.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he gave us a whole lot of
Yeah.
nuggets about how to be a good father and
Right.
everything. And then under it, fatherhood, we actually had our brothers on there with our cousins,
Yeah.
Right.
remember, and
Uh-huh.
our
Yep.
nephews
Yes.
on there telling about
Abs-
their challenges, and their challenges and successes and all that kind of stuff being a father. So that was like a real good show if y'all want to go back
Right.
and watch
Yes.
that.
Absolutely.
That was good.
Yes, yes. And he gave a definition of what a father actually is. And just
Mm.
because, some people call a sperm donor, just because you are a sperm donor, don't make you a father.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make you a father. It makes you
Mhm.
makes you a biological father, but doesn't make
Mhm.
you a dad. Doesn't make you
Yeah.
a father. A father is a person that cares. A father is a person that provides, a person that
Yes.
protects. A
Yes.
man that protects, that provides.
Yeah.
That sees their children through. Yeah, so he told us a lot of things about fatherhood, and God being the greatest father ever.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
Jason and Jonathan Nelson's dad, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And he did an excellent job, with
Yes, you
his
did.
children and stuff. And they're like
absolutely.
some prolific speakers. Oh
Ooh,
my
yes,
goodness!
absolutely,
And
yes.
so I said that to say, look, it's about fathers too. Like it's building you up, and it's not only chilling with the girls. One guy came on and he was like, "I thought chilling with the girls going to be about girls." I said, "No, we
Mhm.
have all kinds of guests on here,
Yes.
not only
That's right.
women." It was called "Chilling with the Girls" because the girls are having a conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why
Exactly.
you're chilling with the girls. But we had
Yeah.
a lot of like really good guests on here,
Yeah.
Right.
and
That's
Yeah.
good.
one of them, this social justice and injustice. Remember the time
Oh.
Ooh.
George Floyd that happened with the unrest in the country because
Mm-hmm.
of George Floyd? We had this pastor, and he's still doing amazing stuff in the
Yes.
Bishop John Watts. Oh my goodness, he
Yeah.
was on here talking about how he went to the neighborhood. He was feeding people and ministering to people. He has, I think so. He has a boys organization which helps children and men or boys go to school, go to college and stuff, educate
Mm-hmm.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, and the way he started, because he said that he had a heart for, Baltimore and the
yeah,
community. He wanted to feed them, and the area where his church is, it's a impoverished
yeah,
area, and they don't
right,
have a lot of food and money and clothes, and all that
yeah,
kind of stuff. And he had a heart to do this,
right,
and he didn't have the money.
yeah,
He didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the money, but he had a phone. He had a
Mm-hmm.
phone. And so he
Yep.
started calling, to
mm,
get resources and everything.
yeah,
And the phone call that the person that he spoke with, they had exactly the exact amount that he needed to start
mm,
this business, you know,
Wow.
this thing to feed the people. And he
yeah,
said
Yeah.
it was so many people coming over to get food. They were coming from different counties.
yes,
So
Wow.
not just
Just his
his,
neighborhood.
right, not just his community, but like they were like in Aberdeen or someplace like that. And
Mhm.
then when they ran out, they would send him over, send them over to, John's community. And so he was
Wow.
like, well, I got to feed my people here. All of these people are lined up and all that kind of stuff. And this happened during the pandemic.
yes.
This
And that's
happened during the
something.
pandemic.
That
And
is
it's
a new
still
It's
Come
going
on now.
on
it's still going
today.
on, and they had a whole line the other day wrapped around his church and the people.
Yes.
And
Ooh.
this is like vegetables, fruit, like it's not
Yes.
not junk. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then he started giving
Healthy.
out they call them the Obama phones. Remember, he was giving out the cell phones to the community and everything so they can have. Oh yes, Lisa.
Lisa. Lisa, we love you.
Woo!
Y'all, this is a lady from Sister to Sister, and she said,
Yes.
"Hello, beautiful ladies. To God be the glory." We're going to
Yes.
get you back on
Absolutely.
here too, Lisa.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yes.
good.
Oh man, what a that's a wonderful surprise.
We were just
Yes, it
talking
is.
about her, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. That's
Absolutely.
why
Yeah.
she came on and
Absolutely.
said, "To God be the glory."
Uh-huh.
And another thing that happened during
Okay.
the
Pandemic.
protest and everything. Oh no, the protests
Oh.
and the
Mhm.
unrest was we were talking about, like, we had our nephew on here talking about an encounter, with the popo, with the police,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
how we have to train our young men how to interact with the police so
Yep.
you don't get shot or
Yeah.
Yeah.
beat down. You know what I mean? And,
Yes.
and he was
Absolutely.
just saying, like, because this dude is in church. He has a beautiful voice. He's a singer,
Mm-hmm.
worshiper and stuff.
Writer.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and the police just get intimidated. So they say
Yeah.
by black people. Mine was like he's on the heavy side, so he figured they were intimidated by him because he's
It's
so heavy. But
profound.
it doesn't matter,
Mhm.
and it's like we don't always know our rights when we get pulled over, but it doesn't even matter if you know your rights. We just
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to, like Mom said, be courteous, and
Yeah.
you can still be courteous. There's some nasty police officers, some nice ones out there too, but there were
Yeah.
some nasty ones out there. And he was
That's
just
right.
saying how it was a shame that you have to teach your boys how to interact with the police if they get pulled over. Teach them
Mhm.
how
Yeah.
what to say if they get pulled over
Mm-hmm.
in the
Right.
car and on the street. So they were pulling
And
people.
he gave them good he gave us good tips and tools
Yes.
of what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that I was thinking about, he was saying that, if you do get pulled over or something like that, call somebody else on the phone so you'll like have a witness. but
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. Because he take
but
called his
have the
wife.
light off or something like that, but
Yeah.
they can hear the conversation.
Yes.
You know,
That's
you,
right.
you won't be by yourself. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's good. I'm using that
Yeah,
too.
right. That
Yeah.
is good. Yep. And you have the right to video. You know, they can't take your. They're not supposed to be able to take your phone from you. You know.
Y'all watch out. Lisa says she's ready. She said, awesome. I miss you. You all. I'm ready when you are. Okay. You will be getting a phone call from us, Lisa.
Yes.
And
Yes.
another thing that was really, really good, because we got a couple more minutes left. This right
Mhm.
here, this show about the health and wellness. Oh,
Oh
these shows
goodness.
Woo!
right here, I can't even. It's so much
To even tell you about
to
it. Yeah.
Plethora of information.
so much. We
Oh
had
goodness.
what's the name,
Miss
Towanda?
Miss Leslie,
Yes, talking about mind matters and everything.
Oh
Cynthia
yeah.
Leslie.
Yeah,
Cynthia.
Leslie was
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so she was talking about Christian counseling,
Yeah.
and in therapy and mental illness and
Hmm.
recovery. And so what she was saying about how this integrates faith and professional mental health.
Mm,
And like so many people, need this, even in the church, because so many people have been through so much. And she shared
yeah.
her testimony, how she went through, a time in her life, and then to even see her child go through a
Yeah.
time in their life as well,
Yeah.
and that like we really need this in our churches, mental wellness,
It's so important.
mental
It's so
health is
important.
so important. It's so
Yeah.
important because people don't know how to handle things. They don't know. They feel like because they're in church, everything gonna be all right, But that enemy, oh, he's still out there fighting. He's still hateful. He's still mad,
Yeah.
and he's still trying to grab us up. He's like, I'm never going to give up. So
Mm.
we gotta fight even the more for our minds. Oh man, it's so important that we keep our
So,
minds.
yes.
Bible said we supposed to have the mind of Christ.
Yes.
And we got to stay read up, read in our word, stay in our word, stay in the presence of God, stay prayed up. Even
Yes.
with the police thing, stay prayed up. Pray for our
Mhm.
young
Yeah.
men that are out there that the police just want to harm.
Yeah.
For no reason at all, just because of who they are, they want to harm them. So we got to
Yes.
stay prayed up.
So true.
Can I
Yeah,
say something about that, ladies? Now,
absolutely.
during this era of time, the climate, where they're sending all these forces in our cities, they actually target cities,
Even
and
now.
our city is one of them. So, what we need to do is have lessons with our young people. Because some of our young people are hot headed. They're hot
Yeah,
headed.
so
But they
true.
don't know this thing is for real and how
So
to
true.
conduct themselves.
Yeah.
Because this is for real. And
And
remember, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, I was saying one time we had this thing called Scared Straight. Remember they show that movie to
Yes.
try to help the people and help the
Right.
children. If we're not equipped to say it, go to somebody that can help us, like
Yeah.
Pastor Eric. Some of the people that could really help us and,
Right.
and, and pull them in our midst and let them talk to our young people. They listen to other people sometimes better than do us. They
Yeah.
know us.
Yes.
They know we
So
love
true.
them. So
Right.
let me just
And then they have like, I know Steve Harvey had like a boot camp for single children with single parent, like single mothers and stuff like that, to really help the children. But it all stems from, to me, like mental health. And that's why if you go back and look at these shows, mental health with Tamara Brown, I think she just started her business
yes.
for mental health, behavior health. It's a lot. Like these shows, they're like all throughout the season. So,
Yeah.
Yes, a
and
lot
then
of
we
yeah.
had Shantae. It was the total woman, and she
Mm-hmm.
was
Ooh.
talking about that wellness center that's in where is that? Oh my god, Mount Airy, I think Mount Airy's. She has a wellness center, and they had like took her to Towanda. They had
It's
remember we
something.
showed y'all the massage chair.
Oh,
Mhm.
Oh
that was
yeah.
DNA, what was it called? Like this DNA assessment where you can
Mhm.
eat your DNA. Remember they were talking about eat your
Mhm.
DNA? Then
Mhm.
they had another one. What was it?
they
Oh, the
had that drip
IV
thing.
dripping. Yeah, when they put
Yeah, I agree.
the
Open.
vitamins directly into your system
And yes, in
to
your
help
veins.
you and everything, and right in
Yep.
your veins. Yeah. And so
Absolutely.
that was real good too. And then we had
Yeah.
Nicole, my girl, my coworker. She was on here. She suffered from how do you say, eczema? I think it's called
Mm-hmm.
Eczema.
that. And her
Eczema.
children did too. And
Oh
God helped
yeah.
her to make
Yeah.
all natural soaps and
That's
lotions
right.
and all that kind of stuff with no perfume or
Chemicals and
fragrance in it. It was all natural stuff and oils and how
right.
that healed her body. So if y'all, she's still out there. It's called Earthborn. So if y'all have
Mm-hmm.
problems, with breaking out eczema or what was the other? I forgot I can't remember it. But anyway, it's good for skincare. So she talked about a lot
Right.
Yeah.
about skincare and everything. So
And even if you don't have issues, there's still a lot of good skincare product that she
yeah,
has.
yeah.
For your lips, like lip balm for chapsticks, but it's not that's not what it's called. She also have like the insect repellent stuff that she's made all natural. So even if you don't have issues, check her out. She has a lot of good products. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
so Yes. So, ladies, we hope y'all enjoyed that recap enough that y'all will go back and like,
Yes.
oh, I need to learn more about this. It was
Yes.
so many guests. We couldn't even cover it all tonight, y'all,
Oh
because it
Like
was
yes,
over a
so many.
hundred, right? Over a hundred, I guess.
Yes, and the information that got me, and these are professional people because we're not professional people. So we're giving y'all advice based on what the Holy Spirit tell us, but we don't have any degrees. Remember, we had our disclosure was like,
Yes.
it's like we are
that's
not
right.
professional people, but we can help you. So we're
Right.
here. Like I always say, we want to build you up. We want y'all to be great. And that's why we're out
Yes.
here,
Yes.
every week because we want y'all to be great. We want y'all to be successful. We had people to show you how to invest your money. We
Yes.
show the
Yes.
people credit care. Remember that? That was my
Yeah.
Credit
Yes.
discount
reform.
care,
Mm-hmm.
credit reform,
Oh
how
yes.
to fix your credit. People, we need that all the
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
time. So it was
Yep.
so many guests on here. I can't even think of all of
Yes.
them. Thank you,
Yes.
Denise. We love you
Oh,
too.
we
She said
love you,
another
Denise.
great, she
Yeah.
making me want to cry. Another great session. So
We
we love
absolutely
y'all
love you
so
guys.
much. And next year, we're bringing the guests back. We are bringing
Yes.
them back. So
Bring them
like I
back.
said, put in the comment what y'all want us to talk
Yes.
about. Who do y'all want us to get on here? And we're going to try to go out and get these guests, get these professional people to help you so you can be whole. We want y'all. The Bible said, "I wish above
Absolutely.
all things that you will be prosperous and be in good health, even as your soul prospers."
Yes.
That
That's
means
right.
wholeness, the holistic.
Wholeness.
Yes.
This program
Holistic.
is as holistic, the
Yes.
whole
Yes.
body, like the
Be
Yes.
the
total one.
best that you can be.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we
Absolutely.
go back there. We got personal trainers to show you
Spirit,
how to
soul, and body.
exercise. We had nutritionists on here to show you how to eat. Come on now.
Yes.
Five
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
seasons,
Yes.
y'all. 5 seasons. We're going into our sixth season. Get the word
Yes.
out next year. We're going into our
Yes.
sixth season, and we're
Yes.
not going to
Absolutely.
give up because we're here for you. We
Yes.
love y'all, and
Absolutely.
we are
We
here
love
for
you
you.
guys.
And we want y'all to be whole. We want y'all to be, and we want your families to be whole too. Tell your families about chilling with the girls. Tell your families
Yes.
about chilling with the
Chilling
girls.
with the girls.
Yes, we love y'all so
Yes.
All
Very
much.
good.
right. Niece. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much
Absolutely.
for tuning in. We will see y'all next week with
Yes.
We
another
will.
episode
Yeah.
of Chillin' with the
Chilling with the
Girls. Don't forget,
girls.
go back on our YouTube channel and look at those seasons. CWG. Amen. Amen. Amen, Lisa.
Yes.
So
Lisa.
we love
Amen.
y'all.
Amen.
We will see
Love you
y'all
guys.
next week. Bye.
Lord.
Bye.